times are changing and we need to move forward. We were never meant to stay stuck in the past, so stop trying to fix the old and say yes to something new as we hear stories from leaders, entrepreneurs, and everyday people who are reaching for that new thing. Be strengthened, inspired, have hope, and dream of the new for you. If they can do it, you can too. The past is the past. Let that new thing spring forth in your life. Now is the time for a new thing.
How you doing? What's going on?
Are you ready?
Well, hello. I want to welcome you to a new thing live. We are live. We're so excited to be here with you tonight. It's Monday night. It's October 25th. And can you believe this is the last Monday of the month? Actually, it's the last Monday in October of the year. So crazy to me that next week when we're here hanging out with each other live, it's going to be November. Are you kidding me? Anyway, we here at A New Thing Live, we are so glad that you're joining us tonight. My name is Cindy Galley. I'm the host of this fun show. This is an interactive show, and so we always want to know where you're watching from. I believe tonight we're only able to be seen from the YouTube world. So hey, y'all, welcome YouTube. And we're going to try to reach out to the Facebook community to let them know that we are live on YouTube. But it's so good to have you with us tonight. So, in the beginning, we kind of like to talk about some of the things that are happening and things that are going on. I just want to say this past weekend for me, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was a game changer. That's all I'm going to say. The Lord is moving. He is moving. For those of you who don't know him, then maybe this is the time that you say, Cindy is always talking about the Lord and how he does this, he does that in her life. I'm telling you, he is calling. If you would open up your ears and your heart to hear, he's got things that he's got to say. He's got things he's wanting to say. He's such a loving and a good father. And so wonderful. This past week for me was incredible. It was a game changer. I'm excited about the things that are on the horizon. So look out, world, because here we come. We gonna come for you. Okay, so we like to talk about some of the things that are going on for the holidays or just national days that are going on. So tomorrow, would you believe, tomorrow is National Pumpkin Day. So this is not pumpkin pie. This is pumpkin ice cream. And pumpkin ice cream is so good. Do you know that I never had pumpkin ice cream until I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And there was this yummy ice cream place called Brahms. I'd never heard of Brahms before. BRAUM''S. And so I went to Brahms. I've never been a big ice cream fan because I don't like milk. So I drink almond milk. For years, I've been doing soy milk. And so pumpkin ice cream, what I found is the only, maybe there's 3 ice creams that I can eat without getting sick at the end. So maybe it's a nutmeg. Anyway, for those of you near a Trader Joe's, this is the ice cream that you want to get. Now, my favorite pumpkin pie is from Costco. It's like $5.99, and it's a big old pie. I already had some pie today for lunch. So I'm not going there. But the ice cream is so very good. So I'm going to be nibbling on this or before it melts, whichever comes first. So tomorrow, be sure to enjoy your pumpkin, whether it's ice cream, pumpkin pie, maybe it's a pumpkin bisque, maybe it's a pumpkin bread. I know Trader Joe's, they have so many wonderful pumpkin things. They have a really delicious pumpkin loaf. Maybe you don't like pumpkin, then maybe just go to a pumpkin patch. Or maybe do pumpkin carving. But anyway, use tomorrow to enjoy pumpkin everything. So that's a whole lot of fun. Also, for those of you that do like to pumpkin carve, I know one of my sisters really enjoys that. She was doing a little competition with herself and some questions. So if that's you, would you tag us? We want to know what pumpkin things y'all are up to. So let us know if you're carving or you're going pumpkin patch hunting, whatever. We want to know. So be sure to tag us, and whether it's a competition, if there's enough of you in the competition, we might have to do like a little show off or something like that. But we do definitely want you to enjoy tomorrow's pumpkin day. Okay. Now, you know that we here at A New Thing Live, we are we're for the animals altogether, but we love the puppies. We love the doggies. We love our canines. As frequently as we're able, we like to feature the dogs. So we were really excited to show that Subaru, for the entire month of October, this is the third year that they do this. They do this annually. It's National Make a Dog's Day. Oh my goodness, look at those sweet babies. So for the month of October, what they do is they donate $100 to every pet adopted. And let's take a look at that picture one more time, because you'll notice that these babies have some little extras. Yes, these precious little babies some of them have little wheelchairs, or some of them have prosthetic legs. Maybe they have an eye missing. Maybe they have a leg missing. So Subaru will donate $100 to a local shelter for every pet adopted in October. So take a look, go to Subaru.com, maybe visiting your local retailer, just to see how you can help, so that if you were planning on maybe adopting a dog, sometimes during the holidays, we want that extra little fur baby in our life. But taking that opportunity to say, you know what? I remembered hearing on A New Thing Live that Subaru does this pretty amazing things for dogs. They're called the Underdog. They have these little collars that say Underdog. And we actually had a video that we were looking at. And I thought, I can't watch that video because it was only like a 30-second video, and I already was starting to cry. So no video, but do go visit Subaru. And Subaru, we're so proud of you, and just thank you so much for taking on the Underdog. Now, this is a pretty safe place here. We've actually made it our purpose and our mission to make A New Thing Live a safe space for you, so that regardless of any affiliation, any denomination or any spiritual religious belief, any orientation, we want this to be a place where you can come and just say, you know what, I'm going to hang out with Cindy and Co for just an hour or a little bit more, and I'm going to be encouraged, I'm going to be strengthened, I'm going to feel a little bit stronger, I'm going to feel a little bit better about myself, or I might even leave having watched this show with a little bit more hope or joy. And so we normally don't use this as a place where I get fired up and upset and angry about things. But I am saying this. Would you, in the face of watching a fellow neighbor or somebody that you see, if you're witnessing something wrong, something being done wrongly to somebody, I'm asking you, the first thing that we need to do is respond in love. Respond to help that person, okay? So if there is a need and you see something going on and you need to dial 911, then dial 911. But what you don't take out your phone just to be a spectator and to capture something on your phone that is not going to do a victim any good. I say this because there was a precious woman was actually, I will just say, not just sexually offended, but she was raped on a train in Philadelphia, and it took over 27 train stops before an off-duty officer got on the plane and pulled this assailant off. And I'm saying, what is wrong with people? Come on, people. Let's wake up. Wake up. It's like, let's take our eyes off of ourselves. Ooh, what can I get out of this? And ooh, I'm capturing this. There's no ooh about it. I just kept thinking, shame on you. So, if you're watching and maybe you're one of those people, then I'm so very sorry. and that I'm getting all up in arms about this. My whole rant is to say, let's wake up. If you see, where are the good Samaritans? Are there any good Samaritans in the house? I know that there are some, because I've seen some with my own eyes regarding situations that I've either happened to, witness as I was driving by, or things like that. But come on, people, and let's encourage each other that we are fellow mankind. We are here to help one another out, okay? So if you see somebody in need, dial 911, call the cops, okay? Let's not just be thinking, oh, I'm going to capture this on my phone, and now I have this awful thing that I've captured on my phone. For what use? Unless you're turning it into the authorities. Really, the first thing should have been 911, and somebody could have just gotten that person off of them. I mean, that's when this comes out. You know what I'm saying? Rings and all. So that there, I've made my peace. Am praying for that precious woman, that just for healing and restoration. What a terrible, terrible thing. And for so many people to witness that and do nothing about it is just really, really heartbreaking. Okay, but now on to a community who, the exact opposite, did take the time to do something about it. And I love this story. And it came to me from our segment producer as well as from my pastor. Let's give it up for Dads on Duty. Dads, oh my goodness, I love this. So these dads have come together. Their children go to a school where there were several fights breaking out daily, weekly, on a regular basis. And what these dads have done is they said, we need to provide a solution to this problem. So no, they're not just a linebacking team, and they're not a football team or an athletic team. No, these are dads that have done something amazing. And this is what I'm talking about. These dads woke up. They awoke. Right? So these dads got together. It's so brilliant. And not only that, but it's beautiful. Do you know that the fights at that school, down, none, because of these dads? This is what I'm talking about. This is the time. There are things that you are supposed to do. You may have had an idea. You may have felt like there's a situation going on, and I feel like I have a solution, but no. If you have that idea or that thought and it's not leaving, then there is a reason why you're having that idea. So I love that. Kudos to you, dads. Such a blessing to see you there supporting your kids and then coming up with a solution to keep them safe and sound. I love that. Now, and I wanted to say also, let's go dads, but also my dads too. Both my dads, Papa Duck and Chuck Galley, both of you so much. Love you both so much. So yay to dads. Love dads. Okay. Now we want to say a happy birthday really quick. One of my sisters, Charmaine Mendez, it's her birthday this weekend. And Chef Lavette, who was just on last week, her birthday is this Thursday. So happy birthday, Charmaine. Happy birthday to you, Chef Lavette. We pray a year of blessings to you. And may this year just far exceed any year you have ever had yet. So also, it was Johnny Carson's birthday. And so because of that, we wanted to celebrate. He was one of the forerunners with late night talk show hosting. And so we did have a game planned for moi, but I want to stick to our time. We really are trying to stick to no more than an hour total. And then we've said hour and 15 minutes tops. So last week we went over by a minute. So I'm shaving off some time today. So there will be no game today, but there won't be a game about the hosts, but there will be another game tonight, which will be with tonight's special guest. So that's going to be so much fun. But there will be another time where I could do the name that game show host that Kiri has planned for me. Tonight is not that night. Sorry, Kiri. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know about you, but I am super excited about tonight's guests. One of the two have been on the show before, Ceitci Demirkova, now Harper, Demirkova-Harper. has been on the show before. And boy, there is so much going on with her ministry. And when she came on the show last year, she actually was a newlywed, and she's still a newlywed. But I'm excited that tonight we not only get to hear from Ceitci, but we also get to hear from Marc Harper, Ceitci's newlywed husband. So I'm not sure if we have that video able to roll. If we do, let's go ahead and roll it before we bring them out. And then if not, then I'm just going to invite them out here. So do we have a video? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. No, no. Okay. I don't see a video. So we will have a video though with Ceitci, with her information, and it will be on our website this week. And so I am so excited that we get to have tonight's special guests on here. Together, individually, they have been knocking it out of the ballpark, okay, when it comes to impacting people. I mean, these are people of purpose and integrity. And they're just the kind of people, I always said, when I'm around her, I just feel like a sharper person. And that's because the word says that iron sharpens iron. So it is with super, 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 super excitement that I get to just not only bring out Ceitci, but now I get to bring out Marc and Ceitci Harper. Welcome to A New Thing Live. Where are you at, friend? Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. 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 How are you doing?
We are fabulous.
Doing
so
great.
good to see you. Thank you for having us on the show.
Yes, my goodness. So good to have you, and welcome back to the States.
Thank
Because
you.
I know you have spent a number of days, and it looked like you were having so
Several
much fun
weeks.
in Bulgaria.
Yes. So we
Yes.
spent 8 weeks total in Bulgaria this year. And the last one was 5.5. And we just got back last week.
That is so exciting, and I cannot wait to hear. And I'm excited for our viewers to hear all about that as well. How have you both been doing before we even go into your trip and your tour and everything that you're both accomplishing? You're doing so many things right now, but how are you both doing overall? You're out in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We're doing awesome. We love traveling. We love being married. We say that in COVID years, it feels like we've been married 5 years just because of, lockdowns and getting to spend time together. With our schedules, I used to travel a lot, like 300 speaking engagements a year. So nobody would ever see me. I barely saw myself. But being married and a lockdown immediately after we got married last year, February 29, you were at the wedding, which was a lot of fun. We went into 3 months of not being able to go anywhere. So that was a brand new thing for me. I literally was in shock to be able to sleep in the same bed over and over again for 3 months, because that had never happened in 26 years. In a good way, because I was traveling and speaking all over the place. But I love being married. I love Marc, and he's amazing. And so it's been a lot of fun now having a partner to be able to change the world together.
Oh, I love that.
It's an adventure being married to her. Just so many people that I've met in, almost 2 years. And the places that we've gone, and all over the United States, and then to Bulgaria. So it's quite the adventure.
I love that. And I would have to say, even from the outside looking in, I couldn't agree with you more. That's so much fun. So many wonderful things. Your wedding, first of all, was an amazing wedding.
Thank
I have
you.
to say, oh my goodness, yes, it was such an honor to be there. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it was so nostalgic for me and so beautiful for me. Just so many things that the Lord did in my heart that weekend. But one of the things that he did, and and it was your wedding, was just showing me the importance of saying I do to the right person.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, here, it was a beautiful, so many people focus on the wedding and all of these things, and which is great. But your wedding was also a wedding of purpose. So here I was sitting at your reception, and I was hearing your hearts about the things that God has called you both to do. And I was hearing your vision, and I was catching so many more things that I would, from just going to another wedding, and of course I love weddings. I'm a romantic, so I love weddings. But this wedding, I left just feeling like I need to be like purposed in who I marry and who I say yes to, because all of a sudden before me, I saw this power couple who individually had an amazing, incredible ministries, but now two together puts 10,000 to flight. Look out.
Thank you.
So
Amen.
Thank
has
you.
that been like? Yes, of course. What has that been like for the two of you, each doing your own ministry and running well in your lane? And now the two lives merge together, because now there's not just the one ministry, but there's two ministries. But I think they also just meld so beautifully together. What has that been like for the two of you?
Well, for me, I think it was definitely a God moment, because for the audience who doesn't know me, I've been single. I was single for 44 years before I met Marc. And, people had basically said, I'll probably never get married because I'm way too busy, way too picky. And there could never be a superhuman that could match me. But there is one right here. And what attracted me to Marc was his humility and his big heart for people, and a vision just to serve the world, serve people, and very similar mindset as far as traveling, being able to reach children, reach orphans. And he would do it through media and film, and I would do it through preaching. And so when we connected with the purpose of actually working on a film. It had nothing to do with getting together for a marriage. It was a business appointment, how we met. And then a month.
So you thought.
A month and a half later, we started dating, and then I ended up moving out here from California and getting engaged and getting married. So it was definitely something that God had to arrange, because I was, for one, not willing to compromise with what I had been doing for the last 26 years. My life was already full with being in ministry, traveling, speaking, running a nonprofit organization called Changing a Generation, writing books. I mean, every day for me was different. So it's not like I lived a boring life. And I wanted to marry someone who would not just sit there admiring my life, but would jump right into my life and run with the same speed as I was, because I wasn't going to slow down. And meeting Marc, I don't think he knew exactly what he was getting into, but he was ready for the adventure. So I'll let him explain. But for me, it has never been, we never slowed down, even though we had obviously everything that happened with COVID. It was just a different way of doing ministry, but we continued forward. We never stopped our work in Bulgaria. We never stopped our support. I never stopped ministering. As a matter of fact, in the last year and a half, we have doubled everything that we are doing and increased everything that we're doing. So for me, I felt like God did bring someone into my life who does help with so many things with the nonprofit, but also I get to help him as well and contribute into his life and into his vision as well. So I'll let him share a few things.
We had a phrase when we were dating. We just would say quite better together. There were just things that we felt like we could do better together. The adventure of being around the country and meeting people and being able to do things that are supporting her ministry to kids in Bulgaria and in Africa, but then also with film, but just having fun together and me being able to help. I mean, even carrying luggage, you know, she's not the biggest person in the world, and she has luggage that's about as big as her. And I like to cook, and so I'm the cook in the family.
That was an answer to prayer.
And yeah, she likes to clean up and not have to cook. So there were just so many things. So she has this word, she likes pizzazz. And I felt like she brought pizzazz into my life also. And I've been working in movies for a little over 20 years. And I worked on a famous story. A lot of people know it as the Elizabeth Elliot Through Gates of Splendor story. But then there was a movie made called The End of the Spear, or the documentary was called Beyond the Gates of Splendor. And it's a powerful story about the Great Commission. And I had it in my heart way back then in 2004 that I wanted to do something overseas, and God just never opened that door. And so getting to go to Bulgaria at the beginning of this year was the first time. I'd always been sort of the think globally, but act locally. We don't have to go overseas to share the gospel or to help people in need. But yet that's what God was doing in Ceitci's life and through her ministry. So it's just been a lot of fun, and we just complement each other in a lot of amazing ways. And so, yeah, it has been, like I said earlier, it's been an adventure. And Better Together, we even got a little plaque here in the house that says that on it, Better Together.
I love that. That is so, so awesome. And yes, absolutely. The Bible says that, right? I mean, two are better than one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes. And you know, Ceitci, thank you for giving us even a little bit of backstory, because that's not common for a woman, you know, a beautiful woman who is, you know, an entrepreneur and in ministry and doing all of these things. You know, a lot of times I've known a lot of women that say, oh, I want to do ministry, but when I get married, or I want to marry a pastor, or I want to do missions with my husband. And, you know, so they're kind of looking for that person instead of just doing the thing that's in their heart to do.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's just so encouraging, even to me, you know, just again, to hear what you're saying and some of the things that you're saying. I'm like, yes, I'm catching that again, just kind of as that reminder that it's don't settle for anything less. And I thank you that you said people said, well, maybe you're just too picky, or, you know, you're too busy. I hear those words all the time. I've heard people say that to me, but I know that right now I need to do what I'm supposed to do. And that I believe that whoever God has for me, he will see me when I'm doing the Lord's work. So don't worry about it. You know, maybe I am too picky, maybe I'm too busy, but there's nothing that's too difficult for the Lord.
That is
Amen.
for sure.
So I love that. And I do want to transition a little bit into your ministry side of things now. And it was pretty neat. You know, the two of you met. I know that you said, you know, you weren't meeting regarding, let me go out with him or let me go out with her. It really was a business meeting regarding your ministry. So you have your nonprofit organization, you have your book. I have your book, you know, Motivated by the Impossible, which is actually going to be our book of the week this week. Super excited about that. You've got Exposed to Hope, which came out last year.
Last year during this time, you interviewed me first.
Yes. So there's, you know, you have so much going on, and then you've got Changing a Generation. You just spent 5 weeks plus in Bulgaria. What amazing things did God do? And share a little bit with us about your heart and your mission and your vision for children around the world, and why you went to Bulgaria.
So I am originally from Bulgaria, grew up under communism and lived there for 19 years of my life. Then I came to the States, studied at Victory Bible College in Tulsa. And while I was still in college is when I started my nonprofit organization, Changing a Generation. And now this year is 26 years since the start of it. Really, the entire purpose was because growing up, I saw poverty, I saw neglect, I saw abuse, And it was very common as a nation that was for 45 years under communism for people to suffer with basically no dignity, no self-esteem, no identity. You had no identity as a person because you were owned by the government. I mean, the government basically owned your mind, your soul, everything that they could possibly do, and you had no opinion of your own. So when communism fell down, 1989, the gospel started being preached in the country. I was the first person in my family to accept the Lord and become a Christian. That's when I felt like all of those years of accumulation of the bad things that have happened that I have seen around, that God was giving me this opportunity to say yes and to be a voice for the voiceless. So coming to the States, I really was coming with the sole goal and purpose to be a voice for my nation, to be a voice for the children that nobody knows, and to do something. Didn't have a lot of money. I arrived here with $100, 100 words of English. Literally, people would look at me and feel sorry for me, and they would tell me, you're going to fail. You cannot start a nonprofit organization with no money and try and change the world. But I was so determined, and I knew that if God has said yes to something, that he's going to complete it to the end. So I didn't give up. I started with what was in my hand. I had $1 out of the 100 that I arrived with, and I decided I'm going to use that $1 towards the support of one child a month. I mean, just $12 a year is all I started with, and just looking at that one kid in the orphanage and saying to myself, I don't have a lot, but if I can't start with what is in my hand right now, I would never start when I have money. And now that it has been all these years later, God has proven to all of my naysayers that he's able to do above and beyond what I have asked or imagined for my life, just because a young kid like me said yes to God. We have 1,000 kids, over 1,000 kids in the program in Bulgaria, and we also work in Africa, in Uganda, and in Ghana, where we used to have. Right now, Ghana is a little bit restricted to what we're doing, so we're not focused there at the moment, but definitely both of these, Uganda and Bulgaria, is my primary focus. 80% of my time and fundraising and finances goes towards the children there. We work with kids in the orphanages and with children who are coming from extremely poor families, underprivileged children from the Roma communities, from the Muslim communities, from Bulgarian communities. I mean, there is a lot of poverty in the country because we're still considered to be the least economically stable nation in the European Union. Us and Romania, we're like the ones lagging behind everybody else. But you see just the simplicity of life, the raw life, and the beauty of it all together. Because, and what I mean by that is, you get to Bulgaria and you see the beautiful mountains, the beautiful rivers. We have the Black Sea there, beautiful nature. There's a lot of restoration that has gone on since Bulgaria joined the European Union in 2001, and they have preserved a lot of the national beauty and museums and just restoring the old homes just to make them look like back in the day, but just a little bit better. And as you walk on these streets that are thousands of years of age, you see the old combined with the new. You see the kids playing, you see the tall buildings where the kings used to live, the castles, the places that we call, from the 1st and 2nd century or 13th century, the churches that were the Orthodox churches in those days, and they are intertwined within the culture. They haven't been disregarded. They haven't been pushed aside. The past of our history has been integrated as a foundation of our future, so that we don't forget where we're going based on what we have experienced. Because after all, we did live under 500 years of Ottoman oppression, and then 45 years of communism. But when you walk on the streets, it's like you're walking with the history, with the past and the present hand in hand. And I can't explain just the beauty that is there, that even amidst poverty and even amidst hopelessness, that that simplicity of life gives you that purpose and enthusiasm to reach out to more people, and for my vision to be expanded, because I can believe for the entire nation to be saved. I can believe for 1.2 million children to come to the Lord, because that's how many we have in Bulgaria. And to me, I don't feel like that is a big goal. Like, to me, that's normal. That can be achieved and can be accomplished. So for us, just being there, it has been re-energizing, strengthening our purpose, and giving us just the perseverance to continue on despite of whatever happens in the world around us.
So good. Oh my goodness. I mean, just so many things that you said. We could expand on each of those things for a while. Just talking about what life looked like under communistic rule, first of all. I won't even go there because that's not what this episode and show is all about. But I loved that you were talking about, you know, the history, the past being hand in hand. I think there's an importance to that. And I think, you know, what a beautiful thing for Bulgaria to leave the old still up and to not disregard it. I don't know what it is about today's day and age. I feel like for some reason society does sometimes want to forget where we came from, but that's history. It doesn't even matter if we don't like it. If it was good, if it was bad, if it was ugly, it doesn't matter. It's history. You can't act like it didn't happen by destroying those things. To me, there's something very beautiful about holding on to what once was, and then knowing this is how far we've come. This is where we are now. So now you see the, you know, the beauty and the color and the restoration that's happening. Boy, the Lord is sure using you to do that. You know, when I see the kids playing in the playground, and you sent us some beautiful, you know, shots and photos. I could literally hear the children laughing and looking at these pictures, just having so much fun, you know, and then I love that you did it with so much color.
Yes.
You know,
we
so
love
much
color.
Yes. And I'm sure there's some intentionality about that. Looks like that was the wrong photo, but there's such intentionality about that. And this is so beautiful, Ceitci. What are they all holding in their bags here?
So we just did the first day of school was September 15th, and we were giving out school supplies. So these bags have a ton of stuff for their first day of school. Well, not just for the first day, but for the whole school year. Everything that they need by the school, we provided for them. And they were just so excited, because even though the school is free, they're public schools, unless you show up with fully clothed with shoes on, you can't attend school. And unless you have all of your books that have to be purchased, which are several hundred leva, and for most people, they are unaffordable. And you have all of these supplies that we just provided for the kids. Despite the school being free, they can't go to school if they don't have all of those things. So the illiteracy in Bulgaria is high at the moment. There is over 40% uneducation, and schools are being closed right and left because there's not enough teachers. There's not enough attendance. The kids rather be outside running on the street. And the parents, who are basically children themselves, between the ages of 13 and 17, they don't want their kids going to school either, because they don't have education and they don't feel like their kids need education. They see poverty all around them. So that's predominantly in the Roma communities, I have to say. The Bulgarian communities are very much into wanting education and wanting to send their kids to school and have several degrees even. But I always look at it, if the Roma children are not in school, they make nowadays more of the Bulgarian, they're a higher number of Roma children than Bulgarian children. And the reason I say it like that is because the Roma communities have, 7 to 10 children sometimes, where a Bulgarian family would have 1 to 3 children top. And that's very uncommon to even have 3 children. And so when I look at statistically how it's going to look in the next 10 to 20 years, if these kids who are the Roma kids are not educated and they start growing up and taking over, then we're having half of the country unable to read and to run things. So our goal is going to these communities with very low income, very low vision for life, and bring God's gospel, bring God's love, and begin to educate them, begin to give them value, begin to show them that they have purpose in their life, and begin to love them, because most of the time people just shove these kids away. They don't want to do anything with them. And we see that every person, regardless of the color of their the skin color, regardless of where they live, they are a person. They have a soul. They have a destiny. And we are as good as the least of these. So we have to be able to take care of them. And the playgrounds that the people saw in those pictures, for the last 2 years, we have been working on building playgrounds in these remote areas where they literally have nothing to play with except jumping off trees and rooftops. And when I say that, I'm not even exaggerating. Mark can testify to that they are playing with sticks and with cables and just running around. And when we bring a playground to a community, this was our 6th playground that we just opened on September 24th when we were there. That's our team right here that we have on the picture. And when we open the playground, the mayors are super touched and excited. They can't believe that somebody's just coming and offering them a playground. Then the children, the parents, the grandparents, it brings an entire community together. And I love to see how the kids and the parents and the grandparents, everybody just comes out when there is a common goal and a common purpose.
Yeah, so good. As they should. Well, congratulations, first of all. Yeah, and I know it's not an easy thing. You're over here in the States, but you're making a huge impact in the future of Bulgaria, because you are impacting and reaching the kids. And I just love how God just placed that fervency and that fire in your heart to do it. And so any way that, we can help, I'm just excited to have you on here so that viewers and others that are a part of the New Thing Life community can also, ask the Lord how they can partner with you as well. And also with Mark, I know that when you first initially came together, when you didn't know each other, it was to possibly talk about the possibility of film. And I've seen some beautiful, videos and footage. Mark, how has this been for you to be able to bring your ministry and your gift and your experience to partner with Ceitci in this capacity? And then you get to see firsthand what's happening with your very own eyes. How has that been for you?
It really has been just watching things that we envisioned come true. So even we just recently were talking about early on when we first started dating, or actually even when we first met, and we were talking about film and ministry. I was working on the animated Pilgrim's Progress movie that came out in theaters 2 years ago. And I said, this might be something that you can use with the kids there in Bulgaria. And, she got excited by that idea. That was like within a month of meeting before we had even begun to date. So That's actually become a reality now. On this trip, we were meeting with the young man who's going to be doing the translation of the film. He does it for Disney in Bulgaria and Disney trailers. He's a single voice talent where he does all the voices in a film, all the men, women singing everything. And so that poster that you just showed, that's the animated Pilgrim's Progress. It translates to Putešestvenik in Bulgarian, which means the traveler. And it was just like it here in the United States, it has a legacy of being a story that's been around for a long time. A lot of pastors, but a lot of the young generations and the young parents and the young kids, they don't know the story because it hasn't had a big movie like Lord of the Rings or Chronicles of Narnia. But this story is actually 350 years old. It was written by a pastor who was thrown in prison. It came out of Europe. So we're excited to work with churches around the country. We're going to release it like a nationwide release. When they go to the website to see where it's playing and they look up their city, it'll actually be playing in churches in Bulgaria. And that'll be 2 weeks before Easter. And it's just got so much color, and it's a powerful allegory about the spiritual journey that we're all on. And some people fall away in that journey. They give up when things get hard, which also is just another thing of Ceitci's story. You know, when I met her, she's a woman that saw hardships as something that God uses to teach you things, you know, the invisible mentors. So this film is a allegory of hardships, but pushing through and persevering, staying on the road. It doesn't stop when the burden comes off your back. You continue to travel until you get to meet the King and be in the celestial city. So that's going to be fun to retell that story to a new generation and kind of make that a classic story for Christian families there. Yeah. And we've got a lot of people that are excited to help. So that's been one of the ways that we've come together and done things. And I was a youth pastor for about 4 years. So I love kids, love working with kids. There was a park where we went and did some filming. I was working on a virtual reality film project. And the guy that started it showed us the 360 camera and how easy it is to use. And Ceitci immediately envisioned, wow, I could take that over there and we could film some things. And then when people come back here, they can see it, you know, be right there in that moment. She envisioned it. So we took the 360 camera over. Some of them, I didn't know how to film exactly with the camera. So I'm a little more in the picture than I wanted to be. But you can look all over, up, down, left, right, behind you. And we went into a skate park and there were some kids, you know, riding their little Razor scooters and doing tricks. And we got right in the middle of all those. But we have 17 of those 360 videos on her YouTube channel. And so just using, I mean, what I've always loved doing is using visual media to tell stories. You know, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, you know, what's 1,000 moving pictures worth? And it just stays out there and it continues to reach people. And so those are up and they're getting viewed. The Pilgrim's Progress movie I mentioned, you know, we have that online now. The studio that made that is called Revelation Media. We have it in 29 languages. We put up an Indian language called Hindi, and over 2 million people got to see it within like 2 weeks. And that just doesn't happen. It's so much more expensive of a process in the United States to do that. So, you know, people over there, they appreciate great storytelling. And so we are really excited about the Bulgarian release for that film.
Ooh, my heart literally is fluttering. That is just so wonderful to hear that. There is such a hunger and such a need for these types of stories to be told in creative and beautiful ways. So I'm so excited at the partnership, you know, that you both are looking like, really, what can we do? How can we collaborate so that we really can encourage people through stories? I mean, the whole story of Pilgrim's Progress to me is like what every person needs to learn, and not just head knowledge, but like, yes, we are going to endure hardships. We are going to go through things, and you may want to give up, and things won't always be easy, but there is the strength to be able to get from point A to point B until we are all in the presence of the King in, you know, in eternity.
Amen. That's right.
So, but I just love that this story is being told and shared now in other cultures and other nations in their languages. That is so special. And my goodness, talk about a gifted man to be able to do all the voices. I'm like, I really want to see this. I want to see this in Greek or in Bulgarian. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will be wonderful. And so also, you know, Mark, you were recently involved with Show Me the Father. I think we do have a video of that. But let's see if we can run the video, and then I want to talk for a quick minute about that as well.
Okay.
Is that video ready to roll? It's thinking about it.
Yep.
And it's thinking.
Story. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
I'm stunned.
As is her.
He's really out there.
In the Bible, the blessing was everything. Haven't I been a good father? I need somebody to show me.
That was a quick trailer, but yes. So Show Me the Father is now available in theaters. Is that right, Mark?
So it had a very short run in theaters.
The hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
I'm stunned.
It's now actually available where churches can host a movie night with the film starting November 17th, but they can place an order now. So when we met originally, it was through a movie project that had to do with foster and adoption. And that was a ministry that I had been volunteering with in Tulsa. And, you know, she's been serving orphans and vulnerable families for 24 years when we met. And the project that we met on, we named a Starfish film, because we thought if we get one of these made and released, it'd be nice if you could give it a brand or an identity that people could remember. 1 in 6 families in America are touched by foster care or adoption in some way. And so we called them Starfish films. And then at the wedding, you may remember we gave out little keychains that said Starfish Cinema. So we got that pulled together, and at the beginning of the year, began working on that almost half of my time. And so I put some of the other film projects I was working on the back burner. Well, Show Me the Father came out about earlier this year and needed help in promotion for the theater. So this is made by the Kendrick brothers. People know them. They did Fireproof and War Room, Courageous, Facing the Giants, Flywheel. So this is their very first documentary. And this is probably the most powerful film I've worked on in over 20 years of doing this, because everybody has a father story in some way. And whether that's a positive experience or whether that's a painful experience. Yeah. Tony Evans in one part of the film says that oftentimes our earthly fathers, they crack the glass that we're supposed to see the heavenly Father through. And when you're dealing with helping orphans and they're coming from broken families, they oftentimes, they don't have the framework to see God as a heavenly Father. So this film talks about that. It reminds us that we're all adopted into God's family. And it covers every spectrum of a father experience for either son or a daughter. And so we're really excited to be promoting that. So Starfish, we both produce and promote films that inspire forever families. So this one was a perfect fit. I've worked with the Kendrick brothers for several years for some of their projects and promoting them. And so it's an honor to be able to launch Starfish by promoting Show Me the Father.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that as well. It does look like it's just such a beautifully made film, and I'm sure one that every person can relate to, like Absolutely. What you said, because we all have fathers, you know, and so whether it's an absent father, whether it was a like what you said, great experience or not so great experience. So I'm excited to be able to put that information on our website as well, so that churches or maybe organizations as well.
Yeah, ministries.
Okay.
And yep,
Ministries.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they would be able to. So we'll have that information. And congratulations on Starfish films in addition to that. I mean, yeah, I love that whole idea of just creating entertainment that's to build the family. You know, you just don't see a whole lot of that anymore. And so our prayers are going to be with you for sure. We have a huge passion here to create and to produce film and television as well. That's wholesome. And that brings hope, that gives life, that brings joy, all the things that Jesus
Amen.
Already provides, you know. And to be able to do it in a way that's creative and beautifully made. So I'm so excited to see that you're, you know, part of those projects as well. Okay. Now I know we wanted to do a game, and it's already 7:50. What do y'all think? Do we have time for a game?
We should do it. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes. Well, and we will wrap up as soon as we're done. So you have this cute little game, the little responses, the little buttons. So the game is called Couples Match, and for you guys, it'll be the newlywed edition. It'll be. There we go. There we go. So it's not really so much like a he said, she said. It's just more like a he does, she does. So this is the newlywed edition. So the first question would be, which of the two of you is most likely to end up with all the covers first thing in the morning? All the covers.
It's
Well,
him.
how's that possible?
Oh, wait. I mean,
It's you.
you
Just
think?
me. Yeah.
Me?
You get cold.
I do get cold. I'm always freezing.
Okay.
I guess
I
it was
love-
me. Okay. I'm getting the hang of it. Give me one more question.
Okay, we'll do another question. Well, you kind of already answered one. Which of the two of you is most likely to make the yummiest and tastiest meal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What kind of things do you like to make, Mark?
I do a variety. I use one of those services where they deliver the box of groceries and everything are already in them, ready to go. And
Yeah.
just whip it up. All kinds of different chicken, beef, pork, tacos, vegan meals, like
But
variety
tonight,
meals.
Mark is making a Bulgarian banitsa. That's a big deal right here. I usually
the
can
oven.
make it, but he decided he's going to make it himself. So we'll see how it turns out. It's a very delicious pastry type of a thing.
Okay.
It could be eaten any time of the day, but especially breakfast. So it's going to be fun.
Very, very cool. Well, you'll have to let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, but go easy on them.
I'm sure it's going to be good.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
Yes. How exciting. Okay. One last question. Which of the two of you is most likely to hold on for dear life when driving in the car with the other? Oh, wait.
That would be when I'm driving, he's holding on to dear life. And when he's driving, I'm holding on to dear life.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, well, that's fun. Well, yes, both hold on for dear life, and and you'll be good to go. Plus, driving in Tulsa is a little bit. It's not, like driving in LA, so it's a little bit.
No. We're not talking Tulsa because we're barely here. You should see us in Bulgaria. Driving in Bulgaria on these tiny streets. And traffic coming from every direction, including animals and sheep and goats and
Oxen.
and everything else passing through. And you're just driving. Yeah, Mark became a Bulgarian driver, like Bulgarian car racer. But it's fun.
Congratulations, Mark. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love that. Is there anything else that the two of you would want to share about your ministries or any of the projects? And we will have your information as well at the end. But is there anything that's just from your heart that you want to share before we say goodbye?
Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. For people who have not checked out our websites and would like to get these goggles, the 360 ones, they are on both of our websites, changingageneration.net/360VR. And all the information is explained there. The videos are there. They're also on our YouTube channel, which I'm sure you're going to connect with all of the links.
Yeah.
And people can look at it there because you can just literally have a virtual experience into Bulgaria. And then, of course, you mentioned the Exposed to Hope book. So the 360 goggles and the Exposed to Hope book, they kind of go together because this is the stories of the kids. Yeah, you have that one. And then tomorrow, my book, Motivated by the Impossible, starting tomorrow all the way through the 1st of November, is going to be available on Amazon Kindle version for $1.99. So
Wow.
people may want to buy it. We're just doing a special this week because I have several shows running, including yours. And we wanted to give the viewers this chance to purchase the Kindle version, gift it to somebody else, or purchase the actual book on Amazon or on my website and give the actual copy to somebody for a Christmas or a birthday present.
So good. And it's such a powerful book. So everybody really does need to purchase this book, whether it's the e-version or the book. I like to write in here, and there's a lot of exercises and things that you can work to help get rid of some of those things, that the sabotage and some things that we just like to do if we don't know any better, and you just kind of find yourself in that cyclical, pattern and habit. So, well, thank you so much. And we do have your information. Let's go ahead and bring up Ceitci's information, her info card. As she was sharing, we do want to make sure people are able to follow her, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching it on demand, but at Changing a Generation. And she's also at Ceitci, or you can find her at Invisible Mentors. But really, you should follow all three on Instagram. Facebook is at Changing a Generation. And if you forget any of those, that we will have her website and her YouTube and some of that information, her book on our website as well this week. But you can just visit her website at ceitci.org. And then Marc's information with his ministry and his production company is at starfishstories.tv. That's for Instagram, and as well as Facebook, I believe, is also starfishstories.tv. And then if you go to the website, you just go starfishstories.tv, and then you'll see all that you need to see. And if you are a church or a pastor or a leader in ministry and you're watching, maybe you lead the men's ministry, maybe you lead the women's, maybe you lead the young adults, we do want to encourage you to get a hold of Show Me the Father. And they do have it where you can do a screening. You can show a screening at church, get it licensed, then let's go about it the right way. But I believe that movie, the documentary, would just be so healing and would just bring just a lot of healing and restoration that so many of us need. I've talked about it on the show before, just how I needed to walk through some healing moments myself. With one of the two pastors in our denomination. I was so thankful for that. So what a beautiful story that you get to be a part of. I love that you guys are storytellers, and really your story is one of the most beautiful stories that I have ever come in face-to-face contact with. So just love you both so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
We love
you.
you. We appreciate you. You're always so full of life, and we enjoy getting to visit with you, and this has been fun.
Well, thank you so much. Yes. Blessings to both of your ministries individually, together. And we will have you back. Don't forget, you guys, do head to our website later this week so that you can click on those different thumbnails, because we want you to support everything that this Powerhouse couple is doing. But you guys are amazing. And I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks too.
Yes.
That's right.
Woo-woo!
We're excited. Thank you so much for having us. So appreciate it. And thanks to all of the viewers for checking out our information as well.
Absolutely. And have a blast on Daystar, my friend.
Thank you. We will.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Marc and Ceitci Demirkova-Harper. God bless you both.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my goodness, what a powerhouse couple, and everything about them I just love. And I know that you feel the same way. Really, they are the kind of couple that you would just want to keep talking to. So it's always a little bit like, I have to say goodbye. But we do also want to wrap up the show and stay true to our time. We've got 8 minutes left. So we do have a quick minute that we're going to throw you to a commercial from A New Thing Live. But don't go away, because we're going to say goodbye in like 8 minutes. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's an all-new Season 2, bringing you even more now than ever before. You'll gain insight.
Welcome to A New Thing Live. And Italian food is a comfort, because that's a new thing. That's a real new thing. Real new. Like hot off the press new thing.
Strengthen.
Did you say record?
Yeah, it's because I was thinking about your little record player.
where we get real.
You said hip hop raised me, Jesus saved me. Learning to be me every day.
Bump, 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 bump. While they're turning, well, I couldn't do it.
And we have fun. We're going where we've never gone before.
It's a new thing live. We get real, we get raw. It's a little bit of crazy, but a whole lot of fun. Come and join us on Monday nights where you will be strengthened to do that new thing that's in your heart to do. And subscribe today to A New Thing Live.
Love it, love it. Hello. Okay, so we wanted to end with something fun. We're in the fall. We're in the fall, so we wanted to bring our very own Carrie McField here on the set. She's our segment producer, but she always has some wonderful fun, just creative, do-it-yourself kind of thing. So let's jump right in. Fall is happening now.
Fall is happening now. And
Yes.
There's some pretty fun things that you guys can do for the fall. Let's just get started. So
Sure.
The first thing is having a backyard cinema.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, backyard cinema. Now, I know this picture might scare some of you. You might be like, oh, no, I can't do that. No, you really can do it.
Mhm.
It is very doable.
Mhm.
So actually for Christmas a couple years ago, I bought my parents a screen and projector bundle. It was only $70.
Wow.
$70 for both of them. They set it up in the backyard. It looks so pretty. It's got really nice chairs out there. Got a
Mhm.
little fire pit going
Oh,
on.
yes.
But you can do anything. Pillows, blankets, all that. Make
Merry
it cute and
Christmas.
cozy. Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. And then another one too
Mhm.
would be a DIY craft project party.
Fun.
You know, we like our DIY craft projects.
Mhm.
So making a really cute, maybe table centerpiece for Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
inviting some friends over, having some materials that you get from the Dollar Tree,
Mhm.
that you get from the 99-cent store, and just making something super cute.
Mhm.
That would be
That would be fun. Like, what could you do with this little guy?
with this pumpkin. I know
Yes.
this is your favorite pumpkins.
Yeah, they're cute. They're so cute. I love
Little
pumpkins.
There's a lot that you could do with the pumpkin. I mean, you could decorate the pumpkin, make
Mhm.
that be your centerpiece.
Mhm.
You could add a couple leaves to it, put a couple
Yeah.
really beautiful accents to it,
Sure.
and just really do it up. You can also somehow make this into an ornament, maybe to go on your tree if you're someone that loves pumpkins.
Cute idea. I love that.
Yeah, you know,
That's
I mean,
fun.
I don't know if you're that person, but I'm that person. I start Christmas November 1st.
Mhm.
So even if you don't want to put up your Christmas decorations, maybe you can put up some harvest decorations on your tree. And
Yeah.
you can add some pumpkins and some fall leaves and some other things. So
Because it would be really pretty to put something like this inside of a pumpkin, right?
so pretty.
That would be so pretty.
Yes.
If you had these inside the pumpkin, like if you carved it out, you
Oh,
gutted it out,
yes.
that would be fun.
Very
You
fun.
could do a competition maybe with your family, your friends, your girls, your
Yes.
tribe.
The tribe, the squad, all of
All
them.
the above. Yes.
And another really fun idea that
Mm-hmm.
you can do in the fall, just some fun ways, is to have a holiday themed food party. So,
Ah,
like, say we do corn,
yes.
then everybody has to bring something having to do with corn.
Cornhole.
So, cornhole,
Yeah.
corn on the cob.
Mhm.
Is that elote? Elote?
Elote.
Elote. You know, corn in something, a casserole, whatever. Or,
Popcorn.
there you go.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Mhm.
Corn chips.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot that can be done. I also just spoke to someone today who did a macaroni and cheese party. So everybody brought
Oh.
their own macaroni and cheese.
Yum.
I mean, there's a lot that you can do with that. So there's
Yes.
just a few things that we could do. I will definitely add some things on the website for
Yes,
sure
please.
that you guys can do during the harvest time. There's just a lot, like making a really yummy cider.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yes.
the smell alone.
Yeah. Trader Joe's has a really good cider too.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
And then adding some fresh
Whipped
fruits
cream,
inside with
mhm.
some cinnamon and
little
cloves,
nutmeg.
some like sugar cane. I like chewing on sugar cane, so I did that.
Yeah.
But yes, there's just so much to do during the harvest time.
Mhm.
But most important, harvest time is all about being together with your family. That's why they always say gather, because it's time to gather with the ones that you love. So whatever it is that you do, make sure you do it with the people that you love.
Yes.
Make sure your loved ones are surrounding you.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Carrie.
Of course.
You know, we're going to have you back with some other things. And, you know, I know the candles, you know, bringing out the fall candles and the fall colors. I have not had the courage to do that, to bring out the fall colors. And now you do see these cuties that I have here, these fun little pumpkins, thanks to you.
Trader Joe's.
Yes. But it's, you know, I do have some fall colored and inspired blankets and pillow covers to cover
even this right here is beautiful fall colors.
It is. Yeah.
With the little peaches,
Right.
corals,
Yes.
oranges, the reds, the greens.
Yes.
Those are all beautiful fall colors. So
Yes.
yes, it's definitely time to bust it out. I mean, we still have a month,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and fall really kind of goes into mid-December as well. So we still have time for all the beautiful fallness.
Yes, we do. We do. Well, hopefully whatever you do with your family, whether it's one of the 3 things that Carrie has shared or something, maybe you've been inspired to do something fun, do share it with us and let us know. Feel free to DM us. Also, if you're not yet following us on Instagram, please do follow us. We are A New Thing Live. Facebook, we are A New Thing Live. On YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are A New Thing Live. And if you have yet to subscribe, do subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so that you know when we're on live or when we've uploaded a video, right? So that you are in the know, because we do have some wonderful guests like tonight, for example.
Tonight was amazing.
It was amazing. And then, of course, hearing just some of the fun things that we can do during the fall and look forward to. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight on A New Thing Live. We do love you. We believe in you. If you have any prayer requests, please send them our way. We're changing up our email. So I'm just going to say email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. We will have that information next week on the card, but we won't be doing the hello@anewthinglive.com anymore. We're just going to be going to anewthing.live@gmail.com. So thank you guys. You're amazing. We love you. Always be ready for that new thing. God wants to do a new thing in your life, and we know that it's going to be good because he does it like nobody else. Have a blessed week. We'll see you next Monday night on A New Thing Live. Bye-bye. Are you ready? Hey, help us get the word out about our new show. Subscribe today, right now, to A New Thing Live.